because I was like not necessarily just hallucinating, but everything was so like ethereal. Like I got to a point where I could not be in the house because I thought my neighbor was like recording me.
The paranoia.
Deep paranoia, man.
Dude.
And we had this neighbor, like, and he lived far away from us. But I was like, why is he always on this street? He don't even live on this street. Why is he always...
It's called paranoia.
Paranoia, dude. And like he would come and he would tend the lawns of our, all our neighbors and stuff like that. And I'm like, he's up to no good. Bro, but this dude was scaring the crap out of me. And then I was also going through this stuff with like Disney, this guy, what is his name? I'm not a fan of this guy, but anyway, he worked for like the music at Disney or whatever. I'm gonna remember his name, but he did this weird thing where Adam Hicks and I, like, I had always been doing the rapping thing
For sure.
and Adam and I had this group together, and so we were doing songs with like Disney and whatever, and we did the theme song for the Zeke and Luther thing.
Wow.
And so I've been pushing this music thing the whole time, and then this guy, Steve Vincent, I'm gonna say his name. I don't like this guy at all. He was like a suit over there at like Hollywood Records or whatever. Really don't like this guy. But
wow, that's a lot, dude, for Daniel to say that.
Yeah, man. Randomly, he was hounding me about changing my lyrics to this freaking song, and he wanted to go like word by word with me about it. I'm like, bro, I've been doing this music stuff for like, a good long time. You're not hounding like Adam, like what's going on here, or whatever. And he was just trying to make it really rough. It seemed like he just didn't want me to do it. It seemed like he wanted to just yada, yada, yada. Either way, he was giving me a hard time. And then also just dealing with Disney and the machine and stuff like that. I was feeling like I wasn't doing anything positive for the world or my community by just being an actor on TV. It's like, how is it that humans have evolved and I'm choosing this as a job and I can make money in this and there are people starving, da-da-da-da. So I was reading up all about the despairs of the world and things like that. So I was like really existentialist, like nihilist for sure. And I was just in this really dark place on top of the raw vegan diet, thinking that I was doing some great thing, grand thing for the world. But I was also like,
so your body's shutting, like your body's
emaciated, bro.
Shutting down, and you're going through these things.
Yeah, bro, it was terrible. So the paranoia was too much. Then it came to a point where my dad, like, it was so weird. Like I would see people like just do little things with their hands, and I thought they were like signaling, and working together, concocting like random stuff and, plotting against me. And I was just in this really dark place. But anyway, my parents ended up calling like, yo, we need help. Fire department came, whatever. Damn. And, they rode with me over to the place. I mean, I was acting a little bit erratic because just everything was throwing me off. And then these guys come to get you. It's just the fire department. And I'm just like, I really don't want to do this. Oh, people are afraid. Oh, here it is. It's going to happen. They're taking me to this place where, they'll end me or whatever like that.
Man.
And I'm like, I'm going to ascend into the sky or some crap. It was wild, man. But anyway, so I'm doing all that. I'm exhibiting these strange behaviors. Then they get me into the place. They put me in like a wheelchair thing, and they rolled me into this. It wasn't like a psych ward, but it was like a holding place for people who I guess were maybe gonna go there. And I still to this day don't know if it was like a set or what. But I get in there, and there's these people acting like super crazy, like hitting, doing all this like random crap. And I'm like, I don't fit in here. So they close the door behind me. I'm like, oh my God. And this guy, he rolls his wheelchair over and he's like, look, man, you don't want to be in here. You do not need to be in here. You're not like us. You're not like us. And I'm like, yeah, I kind of want to leave.
Kind of agree with you.
So I go over to the door. It has a little window. And whatever, like, weird, like, headspace I was in, I quickly got out of it. I was like, we're going to get a hamburger right now. I got to get this stuff right. And, all the strange behaviors, I was like, not going to exhibit those anymore.
Right.
No.
Now you keep those hidden.
I don't want to hang out with this man. Bro, but it was like these, like maybe like 7 people in there, in that room. And they were just...
And what, you just had to talk to them and they let you out? You were like, listen, I'm fine now.
Yeah, I think they kind of knew. It felt like scared straight. That's why I was like, they almost look like hired guns. I don't know.
Wow, like maybe there's a separate, like there's the Lindsay program that's real,
Yeah, this
and then
guy's
there's
faking
the
it.
program for the fakers.
Send him in the room. Send him in the room.
Send them in the set.
Yeah. And so,
Wow.
yeah, my I had to have a heart to heart, with my parents about the things I was going through. And then we just discussed, like, okay, what was the root of me even choosing the raw diet? Am I trying to push it a little bit too hard? And I was kind of following in my brother's footsteps. That was like a weird dynamic. I always wanted to kind of be like my bro. He was doing it. And whatever, it was working for him pretty well.
Yeah.
He's good at being like in like solitude and stuff like that. But I've always enjoyed communities, and it was like you can't fit in a community like that. But he also ventured out to leave that thing alone, because there's a couple downsides to that raw vegan diet. I'm not saying vegans are bad people. I think they're great. Vegetarians great, and it's great for a cleanse. But that's what those were
like
the
your body
effects.
literally started to shut down.
Yeah, I wasn't getting those nutrients that I really needed, and these were the effects for me, man. But that whole hand signal thing, the paranoia, not a good feeling,
bro.
and you don't have to feel it. So if you guys are feeling paranoia or any of that type of stuff, it might have to do with the nutrients that your body needs. So, I mean, just care about your health, man, and give yourself what you need. It could be nutrients, whatever it might be, or seek help, better help, go seek therapy, something.
Sometimes like a way to, thank you so much for sharing that. Sometimes a way to get into your mind is actually by catering to the body so much that the body starts to tell the mind what to do, as opposed to the other way around, So I think when you just start like really using the body, it does so much for the mental health
prioritizing and taking care of
all
your
the
body.
nutrients, man, for real.
Yeah.
Sometimes, taking care of your body, eating right, exercise, all that stuff, and regulating it, sleep, focusing on it, like your mental shit you're feeling might regulate. You know? Damn, Daniel, this is some news.
Yeah. It was wild, bro.
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah, I'm done.
Check,
Come
please.
get me.
I'm ready.
Check, please. Get me up out of here. Get me up out of here. Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
I think a lot of these like super conflicted times can come from not being able to like integrate what we're experiencing, right? So like even what you were feeling about the world, that like nihilism of like, I'm doing this kind of seemingly superficial thing for my career, and there's so much hurt in the world, and like, what am I, and what is purpose, and what is life that I have all these privileges and all these people don't. When you can't integrate that learning, like it can be really complicated and really violent internally, and really like a fucking struggle when you can't integrate what you're experiencing in the world,
Dude, I was so into like just this life is but a dream type thing.
I remember speaking to you like briefly, probably around that time. I remember when like I could feel that like, oh, Daniel like kind of thinks nothing matters, and like people don't matter, and everything comes and goes, and like who cares?
And in the grand scheme of things, it's like, ooh, when you there's so many tragedies in the world, but you cannot focus on those. You have to just, the biggest benefit you can be to people who are in those situations is to just show gratitude for what it is that you have, versus being in this place where, I gotta self-destruct and that's what I can give to the world. No. Just be grateful. Find things that fulfill you. Don't get too deep into any type of doctrines or things that you're trying to set up. The rigidity. For some reason, I gravitated towards rigidity. It might have been because that's my brother's like way of doing things.
Yeah.
But don't force yourself into these. I don't know, like looking for redemption in any type of self-harm. Or deprivation.
Yes.
Or deprivation or rigidity. Looking for your redemption in rigidness.
And like empathic people, I feel like sometimes always take a little bit of pride in like feeling the pain of the world.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? And romanticizing that ability that is a gift, but can also be such a liability on your. And then like empathetic people, this is what I found. I tuned into that almost solely. That's all I tuned into was the sad in my 20s. And I realized there's a totally different channel that you can feel equally in, right? Like you can feel for people's joy as well. And it's equally as healing to hold space for joy, you know? Y'all, we went from
Oh.
the most random sex talk
Yeah.
to
5150s.
5150s. That's what happens when Lindsay leads the pod.
Thanks for watching this clip of the Ned's Declassified Podcast Survival Guide. For the full episode, go check out the Ned's Pod YouTube. And for more weekly bonus content, come join our Patreon. Link for both in the description.